for Melissa, will there be any refund ordered for Melissa going forward? The next question is, what is the actual damage caused to the grid by the Hurricane Melissa? And what is the OUR material role in the assessment and audit processes for Hurricane Melissa? And my final question is, does the OUR have the requisite expertise to assess the figures provided by the JPS?
And just to write on it, we've heard since the hurricane a moving figure of the cost of restoration JPS, which is normal because as time goes on, they'll do a better assessment. What's the current figure we're working with in terms of the cost of restoration? Go ahead.
The current figure is 360 to 390 million.
360
to 390 million.
360 to 390. Okay, thank you.
That's US dollars.
So who's going to respond to Mr. Hines' questions? Yeah, okay. Go ahead.
In terms of the refund ordered by, whether the OUR ordered JPS to give any refunds, whether OUR does not have that authority to order JPS to refund customers in terms of to give them some sort of relief. In fact, after burial, prior to burial during COVID, we recognized that there was an issue when we have force majeure events, whether caused by a disaster or a disease, that there may be issues with customers. And so we had commenced a project to look at that and to see what could be done. We examined the developing world and other developing jurisdictions to see how they treated it. But that project has not been completed just yet. So we really don't have the power to direct JPS to say, in the circumstances, they must offer a relief. What, however, we have done is we have encouraged them to offer relief to their customers. And for example, I mean, they have delayed payment, have payment plans, etc. So that's what we have done in those circumstances.
Good. Okay.
Yeah, just to follow up on that. So we've seen instances when we were preparing for the hurricane, the JPS will have come out and said that the expenditure will increase naturally because of the rain events. Are you saying that the government then will have to be the ones who will impose that sort of order on JPS for them to see where it's fit to give some rebate, give some refund to customers, given that they were out of service for a long time and persons would have been asked to pay bills that they didn't really have the services for?
So I don't think that's, well, what we're saying is that we can't ask them to grant a rebate if there is a legitimate bill. If they have overcharged customers, sure, we have the authority to tell them that they have overcharged customers. The question of concessions, I think, are something we have to negotiate in terms of concession to customers because we don't have the authority.
I don't think it was concessions. You're saying specifically those who had received interim bills when they had no service. Do you have the power to insist that they refund or credit, I suppose, those accounts if the OUR has that power?
Yes, if you have an estimated bill when you don't have service, then clearly that's not a legitimate bill and that has to be addressed. So yes, but once a bill is, what I'm saying is once a bill is legitimate, we don't have the authority. If it is not legitimate, we do have that authority. Secondly, I think you raised the issue of do we have the expertise to do this? What is our role in the assessment? Well, the insurance fund actually set out what the roles and responsibilities are, including the fact can engage loss adjusters and all of those things. To the extent that we don't have the expertise, we will always engage it. So and we have conducted a series of assessment. We have had some 9 or 10 hurricanes since our storms, since the EDF. The reviews have all been conducted by the OUR. In instances, the company has appealed our decision. I think one went as far as the Privy Council to be addressed. So yes, we do have the expertise, or can engage the expertise.
The answer is yes, either in-house or you will engage it.
Yes.
You will contract that expertise. Were all your questions answered, Mr. Hines? There's one outstanding. Which one is it? And then Mr. Crawford. Why do you look for it, Mr. Crawford?
Yeah, Mr. President, we'll have delays if they have to remember all the questions and then try to answer, and then we'll try to find them back. But
How many out? Break them into 2 or 3 at a time. But remember now, we need to give staff and members a break for lunch before the 2:30. Yes. So
the Speaker cannot curtail me today, no, Mr. Chairman. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We have to allow and with the greatest respect, not just the staff. Some of us.
But Mr. Chairman, we are delayed this thing by discussing something that we're all in agreement. Remember, do not disturb me today, member. Chairman, I'd like to ask, I heard in the conversation that there was a large consumer of energy that came off the grid and returned. Can any insight be given as to why that might have been and what happened to their investment
In the alternative. Go ahead.
No, I don't think it is in my power to disclose that.
Okay, all right. No.
It is in your power, but maybe it wouldn't be appropriate. Go
Well,
ahead.
you have the right words.
Okay, all right. The 360 million US to 390 million US suggested for the grid to get back up. Is that from henceforth, or is that in total? Meaning, is that 360 million what we need from here, or was that from all the damages from the hurricane ended?
Based on what we have gotten from JPS, and that is in the report, the phase 2, it is the entire thing.
So the 360 to 390 million is the entire cost of getting the grid
The
up.
total.
Right. And that is to get the grid back to what it was, or that includes improvements to the grid?
Restoration, I understand. That
So-
is to restore it to what it was before.
Have the JPS given you any indication of what it may need to improve from the resilience standpoint and also the capacity standpoint? Have they given you any such information?
No, we haven't gotten it in details, but they have indicated that they would want to look at how it could be reinforced to make it more resilient.
All right. And that 360 million is about 57 billion. Are you aware of the terms of the loan that they have taken from the government, the 150 million?
No, we aren't. We were told about it, but we haven't gotten the details. We know ultimately we'll get that information, but we don't have that now.
Okay. Based on that 24 billion that they have received from the government, there's still a shortfall of 23 billion. Have the JPS given you any insight of how they will raise that 23 billion?
No, we haven't heard as yet. We
Is
know
there-
we know that is something that is necessary. But we haven't had the discussion as to where exactly it will be sourced from.
Is there a timeline for the JPS to raise this amount?
I can't speak to that, really.
As in permitted or not having the information.
I don't have the information.
All right. So that 23 billion that they would need to raise, will that delay at any moment the reconstruction time period?
Definitely, it would.
And therefore, does the OUR have a role in ensuring that that is fast-tracked in any way? Are they giving them a deadline?
I think the director wants to
Okay,
take that
Chair.
one from you.
So a couple of things. One is that, remember, I made the point earlier that there is the question of what is the engineering estimate of damage
The engineering.
and estimate of damage and what the cost of recovery is. There has been, JPS has imputed that some of this 360, 390 will involve hardening of the grid. The same thing happened with Beryl. They did some hardening. And in fact, I think there are a couple of areas that help much better this time around because of that hardening. So we expect that to take place. On the question of funding the recovery, clearly there's always a mix of approaches. You'd expect that as the company continue to recover and supply electricity, that it will have better cash flows as well. So I'd expect that it will be able to take care of some of the cost of repairs. I would expect that in the ongoing discussion with government and whatever schedule has been established, that if there is a continued shortfall, then that will also be the subject of discussion. At this stage, what we have been given is that, look, we do have that by the end of February, we will be able to restore the grid. And the JPS suggested that the 150 million puts them in a position to achieve that target. Now, whether or not that means that they have identified other sources of funds, or whether there is ongoing engagement with the government, we're not privy to that. But what we're told is that they're in a position to get to full restoration by the end of February, and that this $150 million puts them in that position, have been told.
So do we have any duty, though, to probe that and to ensure that they have access to this fund?
No, I don't think that we have a duty to ensure that where the fund is coming from. I think that what we need to know is whether the commitment that they've given is a credible commitment.
Right.
And I think we have accepted that it is a credible commitment.
Despite them having shown the 23 billion and access.
Despite that, because when we started out, obviously all that was available was $50 million from the EDF.
From the
EDF.
What is the EDF?
The Electricity Disaster Fund, sorry. Member.
Sorry, yes. So the electricity disaster, that's a self-insurance that the
That's a
OUR
self-insurance.
maintains.
Right.
That's 50 billion. And what's the source of
50
that?
million US.
50 million US.
Yes.
Oh, so 50 million US. 12, 3, that's about 8 billion. All right. What's the source of that 8?
That's payment by customers. It's a charge on customers' bill.
So
that's not the self-insurance
in the
service.
electricity bill, there is a charge
There
to
is.
each customer each month. Is that an equal charge or a percent of your bill?
It's a per kilowatt charge, right?
The average customers pay 20. The average customer who uses 150 kilowatt hour per month pays about $20 Jamaican dollars towards the fund each month.
Sorry, I didn't
Self-insurance
understand.
fund. It's a self-insurance fund.
On average, each person pay what? $20?
$20. The 150
20
kilowatt
Jamaican dollars.
Per
average
kilowatt.
customer consumes
No,
per month.
$20 in total per month.
from the bill.
So it is each person does pay $20 per
No.
month.
No, it's in proportion to the amount of your bill, but he's just giving you an average for the customer who consumes 150 kilowatt hours per month would pay $20.
Oh, okay. All right. Thank you for that, Chairman. So they pay that. If the JPS misses this target of February, is there any cost to that breach? Is there any intervention? Is there any, you call that, punishment for failing to achieve that period? Or is there a gap? Is there also a kind of a additional time, meaning another 2 months to see, or we might find ourselves here 8 months from now?
So as we found during Beryl, if there can be penalty for missing time, but you have to prove that, it was unreasonable. You'd have to go through a legal process to do that. So there is no prescribed penalty as of now. This question is there a breach of a license arrangement? Is this something that can be litigated? So my answer to that is that I can't tell you that there is a defined penalty, because there is not.
All right, final question, Chairman. This self-insurance, is it totally depleted, or are there more funds left?
Right. I'd indicated that we kept back $5 million US for prudential purposes.
5
Yes, 5
million. So do they have access to that, or that will just be maintained to keep
He
it?
said of the 50, they've given out JPS access to 45 already. They have 5 that they've held back for prudential purposes, which may or
Some
may
of these
not.
terms, Chairman, I don't know them,
What,
Prudential, and I don't know them.
No, well, just that we don't want to completely deplete the fund. There may be
Right.
obligations that the fund has that.
So
you
they
need
don't
to
have
meet.
access to this other 5 then for this period.
As of now, not. They don't.
And you'll prefer to maintain that reality.
That would be our preference.
Okay. So therefore they can't access any more from that self-insurance, all things held constant.
Well, we can still waive it, but as of now, I've indicated what our preference would be. That we keep some money in the fund, so
Okay.
not to completely deplete it.
Finally, for water commission, the K factor. Every customer pays this K factor,
Yes.
and therefore, is there a national plan for the reduction of water wastage? Because some of us have not seen that
Right.
effort in our spaces.
Actually, yes, the NWC has a proposal and for the island. As it has been rolled out in phases, as I indicated, KCMC, is that? And St. Catherine currently. Right. So, but there is
You mean,
a
and
national.
Portmore, because I am St. Catherine,
All right,
and I
Portmore.
don't. No, but I'm St. Catherine, so I want to be clear that Linstead haven't seen anity doing no K
They don't
factor.
reach Linz,
Okay.
they don't reach Linstead yet.
Okay, so
So they're going from the most dense, the areas that have the most accounts where they're losing the most water, and from the major systems, and then they're rolling out to this. So they started in the Kingston and St. Andrew metropolitan area, and then they're going to Portmore now.
okay. All right, thank you, Chairman.
All right, thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. We have to respect the staff and also our team from OUR for postponing their lunch and sitting through a marathon morning session. So we want to thank you for that. And the only consolation is that you don't have to sit through the marathon afternoon session, which we are facing. So thank you very much. And I think we will now break for 1 hour